So I picked it up, not knowing I was gonna die inside. Guys, look at my shirt. Look. It's Kakashi. One of my many husbands in Naruto. I just wanted to share that. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing our very first reading wrap up because I had an amazing month this month. And I think there's a video of me saying I would never do a wrap up, but I changed my mind because I feel like I don't talk to you guys about the books I read, and I feel like that's the whole point of a book channel, is to talk about the books that I've read. Who cares about the TBR thing, you know? Anyways, so things are changing. I'm gonna be doing more reading wrap ups because I feel like I don't talk enough about the books I read, and that's literally the whole point of me making this channel. So things are changing. Things are changing. Okay? Anyways, let's get started. So I wrote in my reading journal all the books I read. And I've read 12. 5 of them are graphic novels, but they still count because they're still a book. That's all I wanted to say. So I'm going to start off with the first book I read, which I finished this book on July 1st. And that's First Time, Long Time by Amy Silverberg. I'm looking at my notes. I gave this book 3 stars. But now that I think about it, it's looking like a 2. Because, okay, so this book follows our character. I forgot her name. And I didn't write that in my notes. I forgot her name. Not important, actually. But the main plot is we follow our main character. And, she falls in love with her dad's favorite radio host. So it's like an age gap romance. And, I hate age gap. I didn't know that. I also got this book of the Ark from NetGalley. Thank you, NetGalley. But I didn't know that. I just thought the cover was cute because look at it. And I got it as the audiobook. So I did listen to this. And yeah, so it was an age gap romance. But then there's like a twist and a turn. And it turns into a different type of romance. My thoughts on this book. It was, first of all, the main character, annoying. Okay. Yes, she has like a not so good life. Like her brother died and her mom hates her, and she doesn't have a good relationship with her parents at all. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. But like, she makes that her whole personality, is that my life sucks, so I'm going to be annoying about it and mention it at any inconvenience or any good convenience. Like, that's all she talked about. And I swear she didn't have any personality. So it was insufferable listening to this thought process for a couple hours. So there's that. And then there's the ending. I did like the ending, actually. There is a plot twist, like an actual plot twist, not like a surprise, but like the whole narrative of her dating the radio host changes to a different plot. And I did like that. I did like that plot twist, which is why I gave it 3 stars at that moment, but I still would give it like a 2.5 because even though the plot twist towards the end of the book was good, shocking, I still wouldn't read this book. But I would recommend it to people who like contemporary romance and just characters who are all over the place, because I wasn't expecting that. And I don't know if I'm just like into that yet or at all. Honestly, I don't know. Now, the next book I read, I don't even know if I should count this because it's a whole bunch of novellas for a series that I was never going to read. And I still listen to the audiobook because I got this book also off of NetGalley. And that is Orisha Among Mortals by Antoine Bendel. And I finished this audiobook on July 2nd. And it follows 3 novellas following the gods in the T.J. Young against the... I forgot what that series is called. It's right here. That series. I don't know if y'all read it. The new book comes out soon, but I don't think I'm going to read it. Because 1, I can't find it anywhere. And 2, I don't know. But, okay. The first novella, the author said you could read it either before the series or right after the first book. It doesn't matter. And it's like these two gods playing chess, making T.J. Young, who is the main character in the series. That's the first novella. The second novella basically spoils what happens in the first novella. But I did like the second novella a lot. It follows this girl. She's in like a Spanish household in New York. And there's this god who like follows her around and is trying to like get her to do something that involves the main character. And it was really interesting. And like that made me want to pick up the series a little bit. Because like it just sounded so cute and just so fun. But then I was like, wait, I have to read like 800 pages just to get to this point. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. So there. And then the third novella, I don't know what was going on. Somebody died. And I was just like, oh. And there was like a war. And I was like, oh. And then another person died. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused. So I just didn't give a rating to this because I shouldn't have read it, because I shouldn't have listened to it, because there was no point, because I don't know what's going on. So I was like, do I even count this towards my reading goal? But I still did, because I listened to it. I spent 3 hours of my life listening to it. So there's that. Now, the next book I read that month is, I finished this book July 8th, and that is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Now, guys, immediately I got 5-star feelings off of this book. Immediately 5-star feelings. Like, I love YA fantasy, first of all, so I was like, I just know I'm gonna love this. I found this book in the library. Gorgeous cover, by the way. Let me just explain the plot. Decca is part of this village that she's not really a part of because she has a white dad and Decca's black and her mom's black, but her mom's dead. So, like, she doesn't really know much about her mom, but she knows that her mom moved to her dad's village so they could, like, raise Decca. And, there's this purity ritual that happens. And, basically, if they cut you and if you bleed red, you're pure. If you don't, you're gonna get tortured. And Decca goes to she's so excited because she's like, oh, I can't wait to be pure, because then they get to wear these masks. It's a whole ordeal. So she goes to the temple to do her purity ritual, and they get attacked by these beasts called Death Shriekers, and somehow, some way, some people got hurt and killed, and Decca ended up being able to control them and making them leave. And then they continued with the ritual because they were like, what the heck was that? Like, how did you do that? Let's test you right now. And she bleeds gold. She bleeds freaking gold. So they trap her in a dungeon, and they do something, and then they kick her out, and then she's forced to work with the Emperor for something. And you just have to continue the story to, like, understand it, because I might accidentally spoil something. But that book was so good, and I ended up giving it a 4.75 rating. So close to a 5-star. So close. The only problem is, like, the world building. There's different provinces, right? Her mom is black, and her mom is from the western province, I think, and her dad located in the southern province. But they don't explain, like, the cultural difference from that and why Decca was treated differently in the southern province compared to, like, if she lived with her mother's province and stuff like that. So it just wasn't explained, because there's also, like, the east and the north, and we meet people from there, and it's just, like, their culture and stuff is just not explained. Maybe it's in the next book. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, there's that. So that's, like, my only gripe about the book. Okay, now the next book. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Like, I'm just, like, jumping. Okay, the next book. Guys, I love this book. I love it so much. And I've been gracefully gifted the next book in the series early because I won a Goodreads giveaway. Anyways, the next book is Bunny by Mona Awad. This book, first of all, it's my first ever horror novel I ever read. Also, this book was a TikTok sensation. I never got on my TikTok page. My mom got it for me because I said I liked the cover when I was on FaceTime. This book is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, so it follows our main character, Samantha, and she goes to this college in England. And basically, she's part of this. She's about to graduate, but she has to take like one more writing class, because she wants to be an author or something. And she basically, I keep saying that. She is in this class with 4 other girls. There's only 5 of them. It's this gifted writing program. These 4 girls are like the creepiest girls you'll ever meet. They are, think of like the popular girls in high school. They're like that, but in college. And they just like copy everything they say. They compliment each other like super fakely. And they try to get Samantha to join their like little clique. And when Samantha joins it, Samantha gets brainwashed into this cult. Yeah. And this book is described as Frankenstein meets Heathers. I love Heathers to death. I love Heathers. Haven't read Frankenstein, but like I get the general idea, and I see it in this book. And let me just say, the creep factor is amazing, especially towards the end of the book. That's when you really get it. The creepiness is towards the end. And when I first finished this book, I was like, what did I just read? Like, what? I was so confused the whole time, because I was just like, nothing's making sense. I don't know what's going on. And Samantha also didn't know what was going on. And she made me mad, because I was like, figure it out. You're the main character. Figure it out. Like, tell me what's going on. Like, I was just so immersed into this book. Yeah, and I also got the second book right there early. It comes out in September. Yeah, that was luck. I literally got it right after I finished this. I was like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. And I can't wait to start reading it. But I give this book a 3.75 after careful deliberation, because I'm still confused on what happened in this book. But I do like the writing a lot. But I don't think it could be a 5-star. But it's definitely the most surprising book I've read this year. Because I'm still confused on that ending about the whole swan. That's all I gotta say. Like, what does that even mean? Like, anyways, Bunny by Monet Wad. I need to read more of her books. She has a book called like 13 Ways to Starve a Fat Girl or something. Oh, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. And she also had this book called Rouge. I need to read those. Like, I actually do, because she's definitely an author on my radar now. Now, we're getting to big territory, guys. I found a freaking 6-star read. 6 stars. Hopefully my phone doesn't... Hopefully I can explain this book before my phone loses storage. This is book number 5. And I finished this book on July 14th. And that is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. This book is like no other book I've ever read before. This book, I can't read it again, because I'll die. I'll die. That's how I feel every time I think about this book. I'm like, first of all, emotional damage, like, all the way up. I cried like 5 times. There's nothing happy. You think you're going to be happy, and then it ends off with total despair. I was 30 pages in this book, and I was crying, because I was like, what the heck? Now, this follows 2 generations of Afghanistan women, and basically it's throughout the Soviet invasion, the Taliban, and post-Taliban. And it's a roller coaster of emotions. You think you're rooting for these women to have like the happiest life they could possibly have. And then all of a sudden, war. And the after effects, the aftermath of war. And then an abusive husband. And then just a lot. Like, this book is a lot. Check your trigger warnings, because they're very detailed about war and bombings and people being blown up. Hello. I went into this book blind. Bad idea. Bad idea. Audiobook was amazing, but bad idea. Check your trigger warnings. Like, I was depressed for a good, like, couple days. I had to just not read for a couple days because I was just like, but it was so beautiful at the same time. The ending couldn't have been better. And I need to read The Kite Runner because I never read it. I need to read more about this author because what the heck? Because what the heck? Nobody told me nothing. I've never heard anybody talk about this book. I got it from the library for like 50 cents. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I picked it up and I was like, I've heard of The Kite Runner. So I picked it up, not knowing I was going to die inside. Hello. Anyways, 6 stars, but I'm not reading it again. It's that type of book, guys. It's that type of book. And I don't think I've ever cried to a book before. I feel like that's a big deal. For me, that's a big deal. Okay, now on to the next book, which is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I've been holding this book off for a long time. It's been on my shelf for a year. I do have little annotations because I did enjoy it. I did. Okay, this follows Jude and her sisters. Jude has a twin named Taryn and an older sister named, hold on, I got it. Nope, I don't got it. Vivian. Yes, and they basically get kidnapped. Oh, their parents get murdered in front of their faces, and they're kidnapped by this like elf man general into the elf world. They're taken to the elf world, and they're forced to just like live there because Vivian, the oldest sister, is the daughter to the elf man that took them. I don't remember a lot. I remember I read it, but I don't remember a lot. Okay, Jude is basically tasked to... Is that a spoiler? Hold on. Okay, Jude has his enemy, and it's Prince Cardan, because he's a bully to her. And, basically, Cardan's brother is going to be the High King. And Jude is working as a spy to get more intel off of Cardan to help. It's something. I'm sorry. This is such a bad explanation. She wants to win a place at the court, and she's basically going to, like, defy Cardan to get what she wants. That's such a bad explanation. This book, I had such high expectations because, like, all the ACOTAR girls hate it, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna love it. I don't hate it, obviously. I actually really do like the character. I really like Jude. I can't hate Cardan, though. Like, I can't hate him because I just feel like he wasn't really a bully. Like, he had everybody else do his bidding. Like, honestly, you're a bitch. But I didn't say it. He wasn't a bully. Like, he just told people to do stuff. Do it yourself. Anyways. And then, yeah. I don't know. Like, I like Jude. The politics were beginner. That's all I could say. Like, this is very beginner fantasy. And I feel like I should have read this like a year ago. Like when I picked up the book, because I've read more fantasy since then. And I feel like this one is just very baby fantasy to me now. So there's that. And I tried starting the second book, but it wasn't clicking. I might start it again, but I don't know. Like, I like this book. I annotated it. I did like the sparks of romance, and I really like the spies in this book. I really like Ghost and that's not his name. No, Roach. I really like Roach and the Bomb, which is like such dumb names. And I really like how whimsical this book is. Like, first of all, just based off the map alone, that map is gorgeous. Like, all fantasy maps should look like that. I'm sorry. Like, this is the most gorgeous map ever. Like, I love the world. the world is my favorite part of the book, and that's why I rated it the rating I got, because I just love fairy tales, and I just love how magical this book made me feel. So I gave it a 3-star. Debating on continuing the series, 3 stars to me means it's good. I enjoyed it. But will I continue the series? Debatable. What's the next book I read? Okay. Then I continued to the novella. To explain, the novella follows the sister. There's like a little conflict in the book between Jude and Taryn, her twin sister, because they got in a little fight over a boy. And the boy did them dirty. But like Taryn was being dumb. And this book is trying to explain why she was being dumb. And I just can't get behind it. Like, her excuse the whole novella was, I was in love. Where's your brain? Where's your brain? Honestly, where's your brain? That's all I gotta say. Like, it made me not like Taryn, the novella. And I kind of wish I didn't read the novella, because now I'm just like, you're an idiot. Like, you're an actual idiot. I don't know. So I didn't give the book a rating. I didn't give the novella a rating because it was literally 50 pages. There's no point. It was 50 pages of her explaining that she betrayed her sister because she was in love. Anyways. Yeah. So there's that. Now, the next book. Also, all these books were in my TBR video. So I completed my TBR. The Summer Pact by Emily Giffin. This book follows 4 college friends, Hannah, Tyson, Lainey, and Summer. And basically, this isn't a prologue, so it's not spoiling. Summer commits suicide, and I was like wondering why. Because this group of friends is so close. Like, they're open about everything. And Summer was seen as like that perfect girl. Like, super jolly, super happy, no problems. So the rest of the group, Hannah, Lainey, and Tyson, make a pact in memory of Summer, and they're like, if any of us feels down, no matter what happens in our life, we call each other to fix it, because we don't want to end up, or we don't want what happened to Summer to happen to any of us. Right. Okay. That's a prologue. And basically, Hannah calls them because her husband is cheating on her. Her fiance is cheating on her. And they go on a trip, and stuff happens. This book was so nothing to me, which is crazy, because like the premise of it is crazy. The premise of it is crazy. Like, that whole, everything I explained was probably the most interesting part of the book, because then I don't know what happened. So the first 50% after, the first like 10% after what I just explained happened was probably the most interesting part. And then that middle area, so boring. And then the last 50% was a whole different book. This book turned into just a romance novel, which it's not. It's a fiction novel. It's fiction. I think it's general fiction, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was targeted as romance. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But this book was written by 2 different people. I swear. Because the whole plot changed. The friends weren't hanging out anymore. They all just started dating people. And it basically just focused on them dating. And I was just so confused. And then there was a big conflict, because Lainey is an alcoholic, and they didn't solve her alcohol issue, I swear, till the damn prologue. The epilogue. They had this whole big conflict that wasn't solved till like literally the last 3 pages of the book. Hello, that's just bad pacing. I feel like this book was very badly paced. Not badly written, but like, okay, maybe badly written, because it's literally 2 different stories. The first half and the second half aren't the same book. I swear to you. They aren't the same. I don't know what happened, but it's just not the same book. So I gave it a 3. But realistically, I should have gave it like a 2 because I wouldn't say I liked it. Also, the characters were so insufferable. Yeah, I'm giving it a 2 because none of the characters were likable. Hannah's a crybaby. Lainey's an alcoholic who just doesn't care for herself and puts other people in danger because of her actions. And Tyson is just like a brooding man. Like, he's just so judgmental, but he won't do anything to like help the situation. So there's that. Yeah, that's that book. 2 stars. I don't know why I even tried giving it 3. Like, I think I was trying to be nice. 2 stars. The last few books I read, this was a series. I read Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. And that's throughout July 23rd through 26th. And then I haven't read anything since. This was my breather, you know, after the 6 star and then the downfall from the 6 star. So, this follows Charlie and Nick. The first book pretty much is Charlie talking about how he was outed in school and he was bullied throughout his whole freshman year. But now he's in his sophomore year and he's going to change it up. And he likes this new boy named Nick, who is part of the rugby team. He's pretty popular. And it's basically their journey of how they fall in love because Charlie's confused on if Nick is gay at all. And Nick is learning about himself. There we go. And I really enjoyed this series. I really did. I haven't seen the show. I don't know if I want to watch the show because I just don't like watching TV. Especially shows like where each episode's like an hour long. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. I really enjoyed the novels though. Like the first book, super cute. Then the rest of the series, they start talking about like deeper topics. They talk about like leaving for college, how it is like starting a new life, eating disorders, mental health, all this stuff. How it's like being gay, openly gay in a school. Like, I love the topics they discussed in this series, which I didn't expect, honestly. I didn't expect that. But I loved every second of it. And I gave every book a 4 star. Just had the greatest time reading this series. Like, I basically binged it. Like, I was updating my sister about every single book. Because she watched the show and read the first book, I think. And she loved it. And she's a teenager. Like, she just loves the series, too. And I was just like, it was such a bonding moment between us, which I really enjoyed. So, there's that. And I feel like everybody should read the series, honestly. It was great. It was great. And those are all the books I read. Anyways, thank you for coming to my channel. And I hope you come back for more. Oh, make sure to like and subscribe. And come back. Please. Okay, bye.